Francis, lovely to meet you.
Nice meeting you, Robin.
You have created some of the most unforgettable fragrances over the past few decades. To you, what is it that makes a fragrance unforgettable?
Tough questions. First of all, I don't think there is a recipe, because otherwise all the fragrances they will be unforgettable. I believe two things. First, it's like ice skating in a way. I always give the parallel about ice skating. Ice skating, you have two notations. You have technique and style, artistry. And to me, a perfume needs the technique behind, because you have to have the strength, the volume, the aura, the capacity to be around, to leave a trail. And it has to say something relevant. So you have to have the artistry. And one can't go without the other. Because if you have only artistry with no sillage and trail, it fades on the skin. So no one is going to smell it. So you won't be timeless, because you need to tell the world that you are wearing a Jadore, a Sauvage. If you have only strength, but you smell like someone else, you don't have a point of difference. So I would say that technicity is very important, and too many often people forget about it.
Jadore is one of the most recognizable fragrances in the world.
Yes.
So when you're taking such a recognizable fragrance and you're evolving it, how have you done that with Jadore Intense while still being really true to that original DNA and soul?
You have to be true to the original DNA, and yet you have to make a step out of the box. You have to think out of the box. Because Jadore is very powerful. It's almost like a magnet. The fact that Rihanna was the muse helped me, I would say, a lot. For one reason, is because I believe she adds a new dimension to Jadore. She makes Jadore, for me, real. Jadore is a story about a muse, about icons. And we had different types of icons before Rihanna. There is one thing that Rihanna brings to the maison, but for the very first time, is the fact that she's a performing artist. Her work is to be on stage. She brings a dimension that is not just something that is a screen image. She literally steps out of her. You know, it's like totally the light and the aura she has to give away. And that, to me, this is what I try to translate it in the perfume, is to bring something real to the perfume. What I try to bring now is something with lush, with flesh, with something, that kind of sexiness. There are multiple ways to be sexy. I mean, Charlize was sexy in a very iconic muse, Greek goddess way. That's a way to be sexy. I think Rihanna is sexy with her body, which is a bit different. Not the soul only, but the body as well.
A lot of the conversations around fragrance, especially online, are about performance. You know, talking about huge fragrances with this huge production. How do you find that balance between the art of a fragrance, but also the performance?
Oh, it goes with.
I
fully agree. Performance is key. I am an advocate of fragrance that delivers. It's super important. Nevertheless, it's not enough. You know, just punching people with your perfume is not enough. Is what type of message are you sending? What type of sophistication? It doesn't have even. I remove sophistication. It doesn't have to be sophisticated. It's like, what type of message are you delivering? Because just punch to punch, you know, like powerful perfume just to be powerful, it's super easy. What is much more sophisticated to create and difficult is to create a message, to have an idea. Because just to shout, you know, you take a porte-voix, those big things, you know, and you shout, it's easy. What is difficult is to shout and be tangible and to be comprehensible, someone who understands what you say. That is very difficult.
You spoke about being a veteran there. I mean, you've created.
I started very early. I'm not such a veteran,
you
but
23 when you did
24 when I created Le Mal.
Le Mal,
No, I am a veteran because I've been around for so many years. But I don't feel old. Maybe the market feels I'm old, but
not at all. Not at all. Is there another fragrance by another perfumer that you think, oh, I really wish I'd created that?
There are so many. Of course, first of all, because when I was a perfumer at large, I would say, I did not have access to all the briefs. I was not in a big company. I decided to stay within Tekazago because Tekazago allowed me to, I was able to create my own brand, which was not at the time, Givaudan and the companies, they were not inclined to let you do things on the side. Now they love it, they promote it. But when I started 15, 20 years ago, no one really wanted that. The number of iconic perfumes at Dior is just gives you like vertige.
Vertigo.
Vertigo,
Yeah.
you know,
So many.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
98. Amazing. Poison. Amazing. Addict. Amazing. Hypnotic Poison.
Yeah.
It's totally crazy, this perfume. So no, I even just at Dior, it's like, and this is why it's exciting to be there. Very exciting.
The audience I talk to are often looking to create a fragrance wardrobe. Is there a top tip that you'd give to someone for finding the perfect fragrance?
But perfection doesn't exist. And thank God, because otherwise it would be only one perfume left, you know? It doesn't make sense. No, I think that the perfect fragrance is for the perfect moment. And you have to believe in you. I mean, I think the issue is people don't trust themselves. There is a lack of self-confidence. Wearing perfume and deciding on a perfume is a proof of self-confidence. You have to make a choice. And nowadays you have what? 10 new fragrances a day.
Yeah.
And the issue is to decide what to wear and to be proud and to make sure that you are not scared. It's your guts. You have to believe your guts when you create a perfume. When you wear a perfume, you have to believe in yourself. You have to feel. You have to let it go. True, because it's basically a perfume speaks to you the same way you speak to your perfume.
I was reading an interview you had, and you were talking about your grandfather being a tailor and having an outdoor outfit and an indoor outfit. So chic.
So chic.
Do you think of a fragrance maybe as an outdoor, performative one?
I created one for myself.
Yeah.
Like indoor perfume. Like when you stay home, you can't put a sillage that's going to last for like 8 hours. It doesn't make sense because you're going to stay home. You come back from work, you take a shower, you want to put something on, something not shy, but something like close.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear like something that's going to stay on skin for like 10 hours. It doesn't make sense. So I love that idea. I love that kind of type of sophistication.
And that's something you've kept just for you.
God, it's a great brand.
Okay. Francis, thank you very much.
Merci, thank you, Robin.
Really appreciate it.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you for coming from Scotland to us.
Thank you.